Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Paula, also known as The Snail Garden on social media, and I have an Etsy shop, Eva Faith, where I sell hand-dyed linen for cross-stitching. I will put all the links where you can find me in the description box below. I haven't recorded to camera for a while, so I don't know what take I'm on now, but hopefully things will improve from now on. I haven't recorded because we've been so busy, and then when I was ready, I caught a cold. Then at the beginning of the month, we were away. We went to Devon and Cornwall, and I attended some classes at Cowslip Workshops. I have put those in a separate video because it would have been too long to add to this one. I'm going to put in a short vlog now of what we've been up to the remainder of May, and then I will come back and share my projects, and I actually have some finishes. It's been a while, so there are quite a few finishes.
Antler picks were used to dig out the flint. It was hard and physical work that required great skill. It was worked into tools, arrowheads, and weapons. And the jet black flint found here was perfect. There was wonder, but also danger in digging so deep. Skeletons of small sea creatures sank to the seabed. Gradually, over the course of time, these fossils compressed together to form chalk.
Welcome back. The first items I'm going to talk about are knitting related, and you can see them behind me. I have knit Winter on My Mind by Melanie Berg, an asymmetrical shawl in this alpaca lace by The Wool Barn. This is a beautiful soft lace weight yarn. It is 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk and 10% cashmere. And I finished it as per the pattern a while ago, but I wanted to do an extra repeat of the lace because I absolutely fell in love with the lace. And it is so light and soft, and it is quite large, so I'm just going to share it on here. I'm really going to look forward to wearing this. It starts off in the colourway Coal, and then you start adding stripes of silver, and finally all the lace is in the silver. I have blocked my lace so that it is quite pointed, as you can see. The second item is knit in Ephemeral, a fingering weight yarn by Mr. B, also known as Birch Street. And this is the Margot cardigan by Along Avec Anna. And I'm really pleased with how this has come out. And whilst we were away in Norwich, I popped into Norfolk Yarns and found these cocoa shell buttons, which I think work well with it. I'm going to look forward to wearing this one as well. Could do with it on today, it's a bit chilly. Those are my only two knitting projects. The rest are wool applique and cross stitch, mostly. Starting with Looking West by Maggie Bonomi. This was the wool applique project from Cowslip Workshops last May. And I decided I had better finish it since I was going to be doing another one. And I have turned mine into a pillow. It's all quite large things today. And mine is as per the pattern, apart from I put the Kernow flag up for Cornwall instead of the Union Jack. So I'll try and do a close-up. I'm not quite sure what you'll be able to see because I won't be able to see it. I think there. I hope that worked. I loved stitching this, and I turned mine into a simple pillow. You can just put the pillow in there. And this was stitched using fabrics from Maggie that were in the kit. and Blackberry Primitive linens that were also in the kit, and Blackberry Primitive wools. And I think this is my first really big project in wool applique. That sits upstairs on a bed. I'm going to jump about a little bit and stick with the wool applique, because when I went to Cowslip Workshops this May, we got another kit from Maggie. And this one is flowers for cowslip. And for a moment there I thought I'd forgotten the project. I have done very little at the moment. I have got my cowslip cowl on, and the basket, and the stems are stitched, but I've only just started to pin on the leaves. So we have no flowers yet, just a basket of foliage. Again, this is using linen and wool from Tonya of Blackberry Primitives, and fabrics from Maggie. She included a backing fabric, and I'm going to try and turn mine into a pillow again. Sticking with the cowslip theme, there were some very generous ladies on the workshops. I don't know if this will show, but these are some of the beautiful gifts that I was given. A little strawberry and jar of buttons. I can't show that very well. From Sarah Stonehouse. I will put all the links of these people I mention in the description box, and hopefully I won't forget anyone. I apologise if I do. A strawberry from So Daisy, Dawn. It's So Daisy, sorry Dawn. As I said, I will put all the links in the description box. There's a little bit of thread on that one. I had some sequins from Sean, and inspired by Sean, I'm going to stitch Lily and put these on my Lily. That's the Animal Cracker by Stacy Nash, the frog. Alice of Crow's Nest gifted everyone with these lovely needle books. Sherry gave everyone some pins and fabrics and this little chick. Sally of the Humble Bumble Stitcher, I haven't taken it out because I just love how she wrapped everything, gifted everyone with a little board to put something on, to finish something on. And these thread holders, floss holders. I have something else I will share in a moment from Sally. Jill, whose label has just fallen on the floor, pink moon gazing hair. Gifted it, whoops, it's gone, there. I'll show them separately. Gifted everyone with a tin with all this lovely wool applique on. And some chenille for finishing. Leslie gave everybody a little floss bling, I believe they're called, or zipper pull. And I chose the butterfly, because I love butterflies. Britta Jenkinson gifted these little jars of buttons and beads from her travels. I love that little mushroom in there. Christina gifted everyone with a little jar of buttons and a little heart and an acorns and threads. It's her local LNS and some Gloriana thread. I also got a lovely gift, another lovely gift from Sally, Humble Bumble Stitcher, in this beautiful little box that she has made. And inside was something very special. This little peg doll. I mean, isn't that amazing? Sally is so talented. I don't know if she knew that my favourite colour is blue, but this was perfect for me. And I love the geese. And being a knitter, I also love sheep. And she came with 2 sheep who do not want to come out of their bag. Out. Trying to hold them all up together so you can see them. And that was very special. Thank you, Sally. I shall think of you every time I see this. I'm going to put it on display in my cabinet over there. I took some charms and some velvet strawberries. I'd hand dyed the velvet and crocheted the little strawberries. No, the little flowers for the strawberries. Everybody was so very generous. And strawberries were obviously a theme this year, as well as these little jars of buttons and sequins and beads. I'm very thankful to have made some lovely friends on these classes. And I thought I should probably finish last year's cross stitch from Cowslip. This was the Stacy Nash exclusive. That was the front of the sewing roll. And that was the back. And I have buried it. Whoops! Something's on the floor. Now I did alter mine a little bit because I wanted to tell the story of our time in Devon and Cornwall last year. And so this was on 32 count by Needle Bling Designs. It was part of the kit and all of the colours were in the kit. I believe I have finished the top as it was stitched, except I changed my cap to black and I have my initials here, and I moved the centre section around a little bit because I wanted to add the black dog, because there were a lot of dogs where we stayed and the young black Labrador was quite a character. And as we were sewing, I wanted to put some sewing items on my needle roll, and the quilt stars to represent cowslip along with the flowers. And then at the bottom of my alphabet I put Cowslip 2024 and another little black cat because of Morris, our old cat. I put a couple of bluebells on because it was bluebell season. We saw lots of lovely flowers in the hedgerows both times we were in Devon and Cornwall. And I wanted to add a deer, because where we stayed there was a deer one day, and the little bunnies on the lawn in the mornings, and again the cowslips. So it's really just a representation of our time in Devon and Cornwall last year. Before we went away, I finished up a couple of more of Stacey's cross-stitch designs, including this gingerbread sewing book from the Jingle Ball last year. And this is stitched on 36 count for my hand-dyed linen. And that is the front. And I stitched it using all the called for colours, apart from I used a DMC white because it showed up better on my linen. And the back called for Havana, but my Havana was quite green, so I've changed it for a DMC brown. And instead of the candle, I put a little hoop with my initial in. I dyed some ribbon. I had some silk ribbon for a long while. I'd like to try and find some more of this. And then I just played inside. I had this star cotton in my stash, and these buttons and charms. I think he's just got a bit bent round. That's better. And I used some Blackberry Primitives to put a wreath, which I have beaded. Some more buttons I had in stash, and this is Blackberry Primitives Apple Blossom. And I had a little velvet curtain sample, I believe it was, that I've turned into a little gingerbread man as a pin cushion. Now this is, just to take him off so I can open it up. This is actually a pocket. And again, I have the same fabric for the lining. And so he just hooks up on there. I turned mine into a separate pocket, and then with some more felt I put Christmas tree to use for my needles, and then a little yo-yo and some more of the buttons I had in stash, and I crocheted the little stars. I was just playing. And that, I should have said, is stitched 1/2. The sewing roll is also 1/2, but that's 32 count. So I've forgotten how to do this. Continuing with this Stacy Nash theme, I had already stitched Bobbin and I decided to fully finish him. My Bobbin is stitched on 40 count, 1/2, using the called for colours. And he's just on a little piece of doweling. And this is some ecru Madeira silk that I had. And he's finished with this polka dot fabric that I bought at Cowslip last year. And the bobbin I got from Trudy Ann at a stitching show. The bobbin has a little pin cushion with him. Again, stitch 1/2 on 40 count. My hand-dyed linen, I believe this is Birch. And I have taken the thread, the floss, and made a braid, I believe it's called. It was only just long enough to fit around and make a little loop at each corner. Again, finished with the same polka dot, and this is filled with fibre fill and a little bit of lavender. I don't have the pattern to hand for this. I thought I did. Nope. This is the Pink Pear by Stacy Nash. This is some velvet I have dyed. And the ribbon I dyed. A bit of Blackberry Primitives wool to make the stalk. And I had this little glass leaf in stash. I've done mine slightly different. I did stuff mine a lot to give it a bit more of a pear shape, which has meant my stitches have stretched a little bit more than I had allowed for. And I didn't close mine the way Stacy suggested. I put a magnet in each half so it holds together. And mine is 1/1 on 36 count because I wanted to challenge myself. Thank you, Sally. She's inspired me to try smaller stitches. There's a lot of confetti stitches on the hedgehog, so that was a little bit of a challenge, but he's come out all right. You see, it just holds together with the magnet. So it's quite a few finishes. So my finishes are like buses, none come along and several do at once. I have one more fully finish before we move on. Now this was Spring Freebie by Whilst Iris Naps a while ago. And this is 36 count. It's stitched 1/2. And I have used Whisper for the tails. And packed it in a remnant from an apron I stitched for my mum a while ago. It's filled with fibre fill. Now there was a second chart for another pillow in this design, and it was for 3 carrots. But instead of doing the 3 carrots as a pillow, I took 2 of them and turned them into little carrots. It was basically made all in the linen with some ribbon I had in stash. So I thought they went quite nicely sitting beside the pillow. Now those are my only fully finished items. I have a couple of finished ones. My first one is an Advent Salve from a while ago by Atelier Perdu. I loved stitching this. I have chosen mostly my own colours, and there's a little bit of a personalisation in this that wasn't meant to be there, so I have added a couple of things down the side. My initials, the date and a moon, because I moved the bottom section over when I shouldn't have done. And I'm thinking of turning this into a hanging pocket for a Christmas display, but I'm not sure yet. So it'll be a while before this one is fully finished. Another Christmas finish. This one is by Soedi and Pandy Patch. This one is by Soedi and I can't say it. This one is by Soedi and Pansy Patch Quilts. This one I have changed a lot. I have shortened it. I'm not sure whether I've shown this one before, but I have shortened it and it is going to be turned into a drum, which I hope to do soon. Now the problem is I have so many things stacked up here, I have missed another fully finished item. This is by a Stitchy Princess Black, and it is rabbits, carrots, eggs. 2/2 on 32 count. I think I chose my own colours. And I have turned this into my first flat fold. I'm quite pleased with how it came out. And I have done some braid cording. Not braid, it's cording, isn't it? Using a Krynic corder. Now that really is the end of my fully finished items. We are now going to go on to current projects. The first one is from Stacy Nash, and this was the Cowslip 2025 exclusive. and it was this absolutely amazing Leaping Rabbit sewing pouch and Pinkeep. And the Pinkeep is this little thatched cottage, which is what I started. And the sewing pouch has two sides to it that are stitched. All the linen was supplied was from Blackberry Primitives. And this is for the side that has the hair. And this is called Salem. I haven't used that one yet. We have some uneven weave to use. Some finishing fabrics. I would love to get another piece of this, but I can't seem to find it. If anyone knows what it's actually called, please leave a comment. I have a piece of this, which I believe is French General, but this one I am struggling to find because I'd like to get this fabric to line the pouch with. So if anyone could help me, I'd be very grateful. And we got all the week's dye work threads. Now, bear in mind, it is a workshop and I'm a slow stitcher and there were lots of distractions. I have just managed to do the border of the Pinkeep and to start sewing in the top of the grass and the vines. And this is 1/2 on 36 count Fossil by Blackberry Primitives. So I've got quite a way to go on that. Some people have finished it. Not naming any names, you know who you are. I then saw Stacy's other project, which came in this little bag. This was a one-day workshop after the Maggie Bononomy workshop. And I fell in love with it and had to sign up. The Spring Parade sewing box. It was the little sheep that did it for me. I mean, I love hares, but it was the little sheep. And Stacey said this one is a calling duck. And we were given the box and Stacey instructed us on how to make how to make the little box up. We were given the threads, again by Weeks Dye Works. And I made a little bit more of a start on this. This is, again, linen by Blackberry Primitives, and you can see through it, so let's do this. I have stitched the sawtooth grass at the bottom. I'm calling it grass. And I had to do the little sheep. Isn't it adorable? This really should be called the Stacy Nash show, I think, because I just started another project by Stacy this morning. Humphrey. Now I'm going on a special holiday soon and I'm going to see elephants in the wild. So this is why I chose this design. And I have the idea, if I can finish him in time, to take him with me so he can go on his travels. And I think it might put that behind it. There we go. I only have a small start. I've chosen to do this on 40 count because I believe he comes up quite big otherwise. And I'm using the cord 4 colours so far and stitching 1/2, and this is actually Old Stationery by Seraphim. It's unusual for me to have some different dyes. Fabric, dyeing some myself. I tend to stitch on my own unless it's a retreat piece. I thought this was a perfect colour. And these are the colours. Again, Weeks Dye Works. So hopefully I will make some progress on him the next couple of weeks. Maybe even get to share him at the end of June. It's the beginning of June already. We'll see. The only other item I have made was for the Liberty Patchwork Collective, and I will insert photos here because I don't actually have the patchwork anymore. This was for the installation at Liberty's, and they are celebrating 150 years. Liberty of London, this is. And I couldn't help but get one of their new little bags when I was there. And I bought one of their iron-on patches of the shop, which is the most gorgeous shop if you've not been there. I just love the architecture. And while I was there, I couldn't help getting a new little pair of scissors. And this comes under the hashtag of Sean made me do it. Some entomology pins. I have a use for these in another project. Those, for real this time, those are my only fully finished objects. And my projects. I hope to have Humphrey finished by the end of June, but June is a very busy birthday month for us. I've been doing lots in the garden, and so I'm sorry I haven't actually done a shop update recently. I'm hoping there will be one before too long, but we have got a busy few weeks planned. Thank you for watching and sticking with me. It's slightly chaotic, I think, this time, sharing my projects. I am woefully out of practice. I hope to see you again at the end of June. Bye.